Hello out there! This is Wakeangel2K1 coming at you with a review of a figure I bought at New York Comic Con. I saw it in one of the booths for 20 bucks and just decided to snatch it up. It is the Netflix original version of Elita-1, coming in that distinct white and red packaging. Now, I know what some of you may be thinking. Wakeangel2K1, you have always said how much you hated this mold. Why are you buying it for a third time? Well, there's the thing. I have said some pretty terrible things about this mold. The first being that it's a pretty bad transformer, since there's almost no transforming engineering in it except to make a shell, and that the vehicle mode's kind of crappy in that it kind of just looks like a box. I do believe bar of soap with a windshield came dribbling out of my mouth at one point. But there is one thing it does good, and that is deliver a well-articulated robot mode that really does look like the character from the original cartoon. And so for that, I can only give it credit. The packaging is pretty simple. You get Elita-1 in both of her modes on the back of the box. You get that picture of the Ark crashing on Earth in all that glorious black and white. And then there's this side that has the glamour shot of the figure itself. I have to keep my ring light off because on all this plastic shell, it would make a pretty horrible glare as it reflects off, see? But let's get her out of the box so I can turn the ring light on, and this video probably won't look so dark anymore. So here is Elita-1 out of the box. She comes with a cardboard insert showing some stuff I believe to make the Teletran 1 set. Like, I'm assuming you get the rest of the Netflix guys, and you can slot all these together and make a backdrop. And then she comes with her instruction sheet, which, you know, is basically how to make the box that she hides inside of to pretend it's a car, with the only real transformation being rotating her legs around at the shins. Let's get in the comparison. The RC mold, like I said, this is basically supposed to be RC's mold, but heavily retooled. And she still comes with that dinky little translucent gun as the only real accessory. But as you can see, there is quite a lot of heavy retooling on here. She still has that way too gigantic backpack consisting of an entire folded up car, but I am going to get to that in just a moment. But I suppose the real thing to do now is to zoom in and get a nice head to toe. So Elita-1 does have that distinct bunny ear helmet, which is very nice. She has spikes on her shoulder pads, and she has a very interesting tan thing going on with several of her parts, including her shins and parts of her arms and hands. She even has unique molding around her chest and crotch plates. So, like, although the engineering tooling is the same, it's actually a pretty unique mold when you compare it to RC. So, it's good to know that they put a little bit more effort than just repainting the figure, which is a good thing because they certainly didn't put any effort into the transformation engineering or how the vehicle mode would look. But, you know, I think I'm gonna give them a little bit of a lighter time on that. Let's bring in her other mold sister, the Paragon Medic, who, like Elita-1, is a character that does not actually need to transform. And that's the thing. Elita-1, at least in the Netflix cartoon, never transformed. And I think the people that made that show knew that she wouldn't transform because you don't really see how her kibble can actually form a vehicle mode. She was a character that did not transform and was never meant to transform within that series, so they actually could have gotten away with making a red figure for her. You know, red, where they just make an action figure of the robot mode that does not have any transformation or vehicle mode. I saw the ones for Cheetor and Megatron while I was at Comic-Con, and they even had almost identical packaging, white boxes with red text. I'm wondering why they went through the effort to just retool RC this heavily, but not actually just make a red figure for Elita-1, which would have looked even more accurate and wouldn't have had the stigma of being such a backpack heavy shell former. But yeah, that's what I was going to say about that feature. So now let's break down her qualities as an action figure. For those of you who didn't see my my RC or Paragon Medic reviews, let's take a quick breakdown of our articulation. Head is on a ball joint, although it doesn't really have much side-to-side tilt, but it can look up and down a little bit. And it's a pretty tight swivel, but it goes left and right. And I can't help but feel like the ball joint inside is misshapen, because like when you turn it, it kind of snaps to certain positions, almost like it has a ratchet. See? Shoulders, because of that spike up there, they don't have quite the same amount of range that she had when she was RC. To bring in Paragon Medic, like you can actually pull this thing out into a complete T-pose, and you can even have it go all the way up if you want, but this is pretty much the limit on the Elita-1 version of it. Although she does still have her bicep swivel and her elbow that goes beyond 90 degrees without breaking sculpt. That's good. There's no wrist swivel, but there is a hinge. And remember, like, almost none of this actually factors into any kind of transformation. So all of this is just their best efforts at making this figure as flexible and posable as possible as an apology for the crappy transformation she has. She has a waist swivel. And it goes along with her lines, so not too much sculpt is broken up. There's her dinky little gun that I mentioned. Hips get a pretty decent range. You can't get a full JCVD, but you know they can go up quite a bit. There's a really deep double jointed knee. There's a thigh swivel, and then there's a thigh swivel above the thigh swivel. And the foot has a hinge and ankle rockers. So you know, like you got plenty of articulation so that she can do all kinds of amazing things, and it's impressive that she's able to pull this off even while that gigantic kibble backpack is still attached. Of course, like with the RC version of the mold, the kibble backpack is removable. All you have to do is push on this little hinge and it pops out, and then you have a much cleaner look. And this is actually a way that you can keep your Elita-1 if all you want is like the screen accuracy. Like that, this is much more screen accurate, and it actually suits Elita-1. I would argue a little bit better than it suits RC, because remember, RC has to transform because she's a character who has been known to transform. Elita-1, not so much. I mean, yes, she did transform once in the G1 cartoon, but very briefly, and we never even got a really good look at her vehicle mode. So like, Elita, if there's ever a figure that you can get away with making a red series figure, it would be this one. And I don't know why they didn't just do that, like, easily. Like, this could have been your big selling point for the Red series. Perfectly screen accurate Elita-1. She doesn't transform, but she never did so in the cartoon, so why do we need to bother with that part? Although, I guess I do have to make her transform into a car at least once to complete this review. I'm not going to do the transformation on screen because it's all just folding and lining up, and that's annoying, so let's just go ahead and cut to her being in a car mode. And there it is in all its bland glory, except now it's red instead of pink. My god, I really don't like this vehicle. It is just, like, those tiny seats, that ridiculous windshield. Like, the only thing breaking it up are a couple of white dots on the hood and headlights and the Autobot sigil. Like, it has no rear. The figure is just kind of huddled up under there. There's barely enough clearance to allow her to roll without scraping her knees against the floor. Like, and then on top of that, like, yeah, it's not even well built. This little antenna thing pops right out so easily. I mean, it's obvious that whoever made this has as much disdain for this particular vehicle mode as I do. Fortunately, like I said before, Elita-1 doesn't need this vehicle mode because, as I said, we never saw it in the cartoon. So as far as it's concerned, just like with Paragon Medic, we can just pretend that this mode does not exist. Just discard that hideous piece of back car kibble to make her backpack smaller, and you will be much more satisfied with this figure, just like I am. So the final comparison I can think to do is the Combiner Elita-1, which of course was a Starscream remold, in comparison to her. And color placement is actually pretty similar, except she doesn't have the tans. And so now you have like your big old comparison of like what version of Elita-1 would you prefer? You want the gigantic Amazonian lady that turns into a jet, or do you want the petite little one that's deluxe size? You want a Voyager, you want a deluxe? You want her to be an Amazonian, or do you want her to be a petite? I guess that's all I could say. Cute, I guess. But yeah, like there now exists two fairly reasonably G1 accurate Elita-1 figures. Unfortunately, both are remolds of something, although I guess being a Starscream remold is a little bit less predictable than being an RC remold, because all the girls are RC remolds, except for the ones that are Moonracer remolds. Wait, which one? Yeah, I think Moonracer came out first, so officially speaking, all the female Autobot Combiner team is Moonracer remolds. But yeah, that is my review of Elita-1. If she was a non-transforming red figure, she'd be perfectly fine. And if you get rid of her kibble backpack and pretend that that's what it is, then that is also just great. Although it just makes me wish that they actually did make a real red figure for her. That being said, if you can find her on sale, like I got her because she was only $20, but she's Walmart exclusive, so I don't live anywhere near a Walmart, so I would have had to have one shipped or travel really far out of my way. So that's the reason why I decided to go ahead and grab her on impulse, so your mileage may vary. You know what? I feel like there's just one more thing that I have to do. Yeah, you know what? If ever there was a situation that called for a Virgin Chad meme, it would be these two. Like, I honestly, can't think of a better set of figures to do this particular meme with. And I know some of you think that this is a little bit dated, but hey, I'm a little bit old, so this is on brand for me. Alright, so thank you all for watching the video, and this is Wakeangel2K1 signing off.